updating the chicken run for my chickens here in my garden. So again, welcome everybody. If you haven't been on the stream before, my name is Ryan. I gotta adjust this. You guys are a little off level there. That's better. That looks better. So those who've been here for a while, you know that we do we're out here in the garden pretty consistently, so glad to have you on here. Come live all the time, just kind of chatting. So I've got my Amazon chicken coop that I built piece together. Got my neighbors, they all love driving by while I'm doing stuff out here. But we pieced this together off of Amazon. I'll give you guys a better look at it here. Yeah, gosh, it's been about a month and a half, 2 months ago now. We did it live. You can go check out on my page. I've got a whole, I think it was 3.5 hours I was out here building this thing. But you know, it's a good little coop. It came with a run, which sufficed until I decided that this is where I wanted, and it was a low level run, enough for the chicks to come out and kind of have an area. But really, they need more space just on their regular run here. So we're gonna be building that out today, just off using some 2x3s. You know, chicken wire, nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. I got my chicks currently, they're in the yard, which is on that side of the fence over here. We'll go check them out in a little bit, but they're out there going after bugs in the garden or in the yard. So one thing I am missing, where is it at? Need to get it. 1 second, folks. If I don't have this out, am I really a YouTuber? Where did it go? Oh, let me grab my other one then. Not sure where it went to. We're gonna go for a quick walk to the greenhouse. So this is the old run I was telling you about here. You see, it's again, it was worth the money. I'm gonna repurpose some of it for the run that I have here, but I want to make sure that, you know, I'll find a spot for it because it's got a good thing there. So, but anyways, yeah, if you guys haven't been here before, make sure you do this. Yeah, we come live in the garden and around the area all the time, so definitely enjoying it. But yeah, today's going to be, you know, it's a simple build. This isn't, you know, I'm not going to have this big elaborate run built for the chicks here. You know, this is going to be a, there you go. Here, you can see it, right? Maybe this side might be better. There we go. So we see it. It's not a big elaborate run. It's just, again, it's going to be basically just a cube form to kind of hang out in here. I'm going to set up inside of here though. So with this, I'm going to set in some places for them to roost. That'll be part of the deal. So, oh, hey, how's it going? Welcome from Wales. We love the Welsh. Welcome, UK folks. This is the sun. I don't know if you've seen this before or not, but thank you very much. Yeah, well, this is the sun. So we get it here in Michigan every now and again. We're just back in sun weather, so we're enjoying it. So, big thing here is just we want to get this run and give them a little more space that they can do stuff with, right? Like that's the idea. So what I had to do first, and just as you walk through here, is I put a couple basically braces on here. I don't say braces, but this is where I want to make sure that I have the run not attached to this, because my roof, it has these, you know, it has little ledges on here that I won't be able to get completely into. So I just want to have something that's out just a little bit so I can come in and secure the chicken wire down. Now you're going to see there's a couple things that I actually have in my fence here. It already has 12 inches of chicken wire down below to keep critters out of here, because I'm trying to protect my plants and everything. So you guys can kind of see what I'm working with here. So like I said, I've got my tomato trellises. We did tomatoes the other day. I've got all my root vegetables are in. Like I said, I got all sorts of lettuce and other stuff going over there. So it's already secure, but I'm going to add an extra layer once I get everything kind of built. I'm going to come back around and put more chicken wire down, just in the off chance we get someone comes in, gets through the first layer of defense. We want the second layer of defense up. So, all right. So with that, I've already kind of measured out where I want to do my holes, and I have a power dogger for basically getting the holes in the ground. But I prefer, when I can, for just exercise purposes, I have this old, like this thing is from the 50s, that the gentleman who, I used to help this gentleman out back when I was a kid, as far as building, you know, helping him around his farm and other stuff. I put in like a mile's worth of fence posts with this thing when I was a kid. We stayed at his house when we moved back here, and he was kind enough to just let me keep this thing, which, you know, I have good memories attached to it. I also have a lot of painful shoulder memories attached to it too. But it's just a simple auger, and I like it because it doesn't take out like a metric ton of like soil. It takes out, you know, just enough for a 4x4 post, or in like this case, I'm just using studs. Just using studs. And once it gets going, it's really, you're just turning the thing and letting it do its job here. So like right now, it's trying to get through all of my wood chips from the last year. Once we get through those, we'll just be off the races. And again, it's just good exercise. I kind of enjoy it. Oh, got somebody mentioned something on there. Let me go see what you got in the chat real quick. Bring you guys a little closer for this. So, oh, good, yes. A little closer here. There we go. I think that's better. Got my old man eyes. Can't see too much here. There we go. And like I said, I could have my power auger going in here and we'd be zipping along, but there's some days where I just want to get some exercise in. Today is one of those days. And I say I don't like the ramming post holes diggers. It's not my favorite. So I try to use those. So with that, there's other thing we're going to be doing too. I got to go grab my tape. Forgot about that. 1 second. Let me grab my tape. Or actually, let's use zip ties. Just as easy. Nah, tape's probably better. Tape's probably better. 1 second. Got a mark on my auger some depths here because we're going to have the roof that I'm going to set this up for. So the roof on this is going to be sloping towards the further run heading this direction. Here, let me do it this way. Probably better this way. So like we're going to have this one basically up to almost 7 foot, coming down to 6 foot. Like that's the idea. So I got to have that kind of marked off on my auger here as we're doing it, so I don't go too deep. And like I say, it's got a marker on there for 2 feet, which gets us down to 6 foot. So like I say, I just want a nice little gradual slope down, nothing too crazy. And we'll work on getting it squared off and whatnot. But again, also, I ain't too worried if it's off by a little bit, guys. Again, this is for chickens. It's in my garden. And really, I got my chickens. They're not really even for eggs. They're more for the manure for my garden than anything else. I mean, plus they're just fun to have around. They're cute. Cute little chicken nuggets. We love them. All right. So you can see once you start getting through like my wood chips, now it's coming up. I'll show you guys this next shot of what my soil looks like here, because it gives you a nice little cross section too, which is nice. You guys get an idea kind of what I'm working with here. So, and again, like I said, so here's my soil at this level looks like. You guys are curious. Nice, loamy, all the stuff you're looking for. A little bit of clay in there. This section doesn't have as much clay as other portions of my garden. There's other portions of my garden that all it is clay. It's just these big gloppy clay balls that no one likes. All right, so we are at 1 foot there. I think I want to go a little bit further. Oh, okay, so the other thing here is that I have in this area, runs basically almost just a little bit off to the side from where you're at, is an old creek bed. Right, so there's a stream that ran through. So I've got these random pebbles and stones that are just odd shaped here, that you wouldn't expect to see. Okay, there's 8 inches, there's a foot right there. I'm gonna go one more. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, here you go. And you can start to see where I'm getting into the soil change too as I get down here. You guys can tell that. See how it's got the more browns going on in here? So that's where the iron deposits were all ground down and removed by our ice sheet that we had here. So that's as you go along here, because they're really, it was only 10,000 years ago that there was 12,000 years ago, there's like a mile of ice on top of me. So it's relatively new. All right, so we got this guy here. Again, for our first one. And the goal here is just to get them in. It gets me at about here. I think that's pretty good. I like that for this one. Let's give them plenty of room up here. And I said it's going to drop down to here. Just, it's going to be a gradual drop just from this point to this point. I don't want it to be anything crazy. I just want just enough for the water to come off. That's all we're really shooting for. I don't need something like straight down. Okay, cool beans. I like that. So let's get that measured. You know, maybe I'll use this as my measuring stick. Let's just do that. What's down there? What is that? Oh. Got us a new stone. All right. So let's get this measured and let's get it marked. This will be our first mark. And again, this is simply just eyeballing it here, folks. We're not really worried about getting this down to the micro, millimeter, inch, whatever. I mean, again, we're ballpark here. This is, I see too many people on these projects, man. Y'all worry way too much about getting it like exact. I mean, your chickens don't care, and frankly, you know, they're your customer. You know, so this is how far we're going down on the first one here. You see, just down to this spot right there. That's our first measurement. Now we're gonna work on the next one, which is just gonna be down here. And I have a very scientific measuring stick for this. I'm gonna put this right in the middle, and we're gonna make this one look square as we take this into the middle. And I'm gonna run another one over here, line them up, make them look kind of square, and then we're gonna call that good enough. Yeah, because that's really what we're doing here, folks. It's not, like I said, y'all too many people worry way too much about this stuff. When in reality, all we're looking for is good enough. Good enough for our chickens. Okay, good enough for them. And the holes that this thing digs are big enough that they're designed for 4x4s. That's why I use 2x3 studs. So if you haven't done that, I recommend you do. They're cheaper than 2x4s, you know, and they last just as long. You know, they're not untreated. You know, they're meant for framing, so they're better for, you know, they're better to have inside your garden anyways. And if they happen to go bad, it's $3 to get a new one. You know what I mean? That's easy peasy. So that's what we're going with. Here, I just want to get this guy what looks like close enough to straight. There you go. So I got 2 more markings to do. So I'm going to drop one in here, one in there. So I got this guy here. Just to show you, I have these little 3-foot posts that I use in my garden. I'm just using them to kind of mark where I'm going to be putting everything at. So let me see. Yep. So maybe just like right here. I mean, it doesn't matter too much, but I want the center to be right there. Okay, so there's that. Got one more over here, and then I'm going to have all 4, because I already have one in here, which we'll double check this one in a second. If you want to get really crazy with this, folks, you can actually break out the tape measure, you know, measure your diagonals, which some folks do. Nothing wrong with doing that. Nothing wrong at all. Where is, here's my other post. I'm doing that. Here, 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 give or take. There you go. There we go. So I got 4 more holes today. We're rocking it here today. Folks, we're just downright dangerous. Okay, so I appreciate everybody hanging out. Where y'all at today? I'm in northern Michigan. So here's Mitt. I know it's backwards for here. There you go. Like right there. On the west shore of Michigan. Beautiful weather out today. Absolutely just gorgeous. Everything you could hope for and more. Gorgeous day. Let me bring this over. There we go. So recently, I think it's just, you know, more show and tell time, or more tell time than anything. I recently went over 1,000 subscribers, so like that's pretty cool. Been doing this for a little while. And then where did my post hole go? Did I just punch it right here? There it is, right now. Why did I take it out so soon? This was it. Yeah, double check. But I just went over 1,000, so that was pretty cool. I like that. Appreciate everybody who subscribes. Get to hang out with folks and do this, and get the opportunity to just kind of chat with folks. But yeah, so again, it's the same thing we had before. Again, with just the auger here, it's just a hand auger. It's just got a screw at the bottom, and it just pulls it straight down. Not much to it. Like I said, I've been using this one. Like I can say definitively now, we're going on the third decade that I've had this thing around. I've known of this thing to be working. So now when I did do my, got my neighbor, she's out with her Harley today. So she works her tail off. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a second. She works her tail off all week so she can have Friday or Saturdays and Sundays to ride her Harley on this weather. So love her for that. She's got her thing. So with this, I need my measuring stick. So again, just same thing before. Got this one measured. Right, we're gonna hit the bottom of this thing. Swing. Yep. So we're gonna hit the bottom of this here in a second. And that'll let us know we got to the right depth on here. We're gonna go down and we're gonna finish off by having it go down to, a further depth. Now, this guy got something in there. What's going on here? There we go. But when this gets down to the other depth here, it'll be just, it'll be a nice grade for the water to come off. And I plan on using that water, setting up like a little gutter system at some point rather soon to funnel all that water down into a bucket that'll then drip feed down to the chickens so they can, they can have that. It's not like I pay for water around here. I have a well water. But, anything we can do to be a little more self-sustainable, you know what I mean? I don't need to worry about the chicks getting water. They'll have plenty, But we are cruising today, folks. This is some of the stuff I really just enjoy doing. It's always just nice and peaceful. Be able to do this stuff. Just come in and spend some time out in the sunshine doing this. This is all right. Now, I may, I've still got to put a door on this thing. I'm be working on doing that today too. Not sure if that'll be on stream or not. There we go. One more scoop out of this, and we'll be there. There you go. Yeah, oh, we're just getting into that really, again, you can see that if I can scoop it out of here, really see the contrast and how like bright and orange we get in here. Like how quickly it changes over the soil composition here. It's fast. Okay, cool. All right, that one's done. All right, so this next one, these next two that we have, we're gonna go deeper again so we can have that sliding down. And for these, I don't need the mark. We're just gonna go, show you guys. So here's the bottom. See the bottom of the tape there? We're just gonna go up to the bottom of this thing here. And that's gonna give us more than enough, basically angle to make sure that we're draining okay. So, it's good stuff. Swap over here. Y'all get a look at my greenhouse behind me here. Make sure we're in the right spot here. So the greenhouse, we do a lot of work out of the greenhouse on stream here. That you guys, if you guys hadn't been following, you missed out on us there. And we'll be getting back in the greenhouse here in a little while. I've got to get some other stuff started for here in a month, for my late fall items. Plus, we're always going to have something growing in there, be it cucumbers or whatever this year. I'm going to get this thing where it's year round. staying warm and producing. That's just something that's got to get figured out for us. There's no reason for me not to be producing year round here. It's insulated on 3 sides of it. Gets more than enough sunlight, and like you said, like you can see behind me here, you know, all these guys were started in there. And I moved them out here about a month ago so they could start living their best lettuce and spinach life, you know what I mean? That's what we want. So the other thing with this run I had to keep in mind when I was setting this up was to make sure I get my my wagon in and out of here too. You know, I only need my wagon in here a couple times a year. It's not that huge of a deal, but I wanted to make sure that it was set up in a way that I can get my wagon in and out of here, because I do bring a lot of compost, and you know, there's a lot of garden matter and stuff that comes out of here. So I want to make sure that that was, you know, that was a consideration, which it is. This is gonna be enough to scoot in and out of here. It'll be a little bit of maneuver, but I'll make do. I'll make do. Because at one area, oh, there you go. We're starting to get some clay here. And you just feel the change in the composition of the soil too. So with the other stuff we were looking at here, you can see now where I got my clay. See if I can break some off so you can see it. Where we start getting into these. Now these are little baby chunks of clay. I've been working the soil for a while, but you know, there's boulders of clay in here. These just nasty monstrosities of just pure clay. Like you could go in, you know, I could make you guys some plates if I wanted to with this stuff. It is just ridiculous. The amount, the type of clay and the amount that we have here. And again, we had a runoff area where the glacier, the ice sheet that was over the top of us. And this whole area was kind of like a version of an outlet for one of the main chutes, the underwater rivers. It was just on the other side of you over there. So these were mini fissures and stuff that were over here, pretty sure is what the geologists say. Which means we've had, you know, a whole lot of stuff happen here, but at the end of the day, the deposits were, you know, pretty straightforward. It's what you would find on a slow moving. Hey, what's happening, Edits? Welcome back. Good to see you. Yeah, we've got, but as far as the deposits and stuff, it was what you expect, like on a slow moving stream. Other parts of this area are fast rapids because the water was under pressure. You can just tell by as you dig down a little bit. All right, so we are now just about at the bottom, and we went down to basically this level right here. Okay, so in our other posts that we dig are going to be here, so it's going to give us that nice little grade. Nice little grade. Cool. All right, got one more to do, and then we're going to start doing some stuff because we love doing stuff. Got a post here in the view. There it is. Cool. Yeah, so other things when I got the property, these are closed pole lines, or closed poles. Yeah, closed line poles. There you go. I think that's how you say it. That were, I don't know, they've been there forever. And so I moved them over here into the garden for a trellis for my cucumbers. So cucumbers will be all over this thing later this year. So that'll be pretty cool. Looking forward to that. That'll be nice. But it's got this cattle wire that I have up right now for me to get in and out of. And then once we get set, we'll be going. I've got some other cucumbers that I started that are behind me. We're doing some tests on ways to possibly start them early. But cucumbers don't like to be, they do not like to be transplanted. It's just not something they enjoy. So I'm trying to see if there's a way I might be able to do it, but I'm not holding out a lot of hope, to be honest. I think it's just gonna be one of those things where I am gonna have to start my cucumbers super early in the greenhouse, keep it warm, so I have fresh cucumbers and, you know, don't have to pay the ridiculous grocery store prices for them. And that's always a concern too, obviously, because, you know, it's a bit. So good thing here is we're gonna get the posts in first. I'm gonna connect everybody up with some Then I'm going to do the interconnections. We're going to do we're going to do the top. Then we're going to, you know, that's kind of, we're just going to kind of piece it together here. There's all sorts of really good ways to do this, and then there's a way I'm going to do it. So if I'm doing this the way you wouldn't do it, yours is probably better. Mine is just, hey, we're going to piece this thing together today, give my chickens a little bit more room to run in a protected space. That's all for them. Yeah. There's really, I don't want to have to, you know, keep them in the other run that I had. It worked really well. It did its job. Like I said, I'm going to incorporate parts of it into the structure eventually. But for today, we're just going to get this run together so they can get in here, set up a few little roosting spots for them. There you go. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear that, but we just found the pebble layer. Come up. Let me get that stone out of there. Where's that? Oh, there it is. There you go. Got a nice little glacier rock for you. Yeah, this entire area was turned over so many times by the glaciers. But you can just, I mean, all right, one more. There we go. I think we're good. All right, there we go, folks. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4 post holes done there. Let me grab one thing before we get going. Have this. Cool. Just had to grab my level, folks. Level my builder square. You know, got to make sure you got the goods, right? Got to make sure you have the goods. We're just going to start over here. So I think it's probably the best place to start. All right, so turn you guys this way. Sorry about that. Quick action turn there. So, oh, this guy's going to keep blowing over on me, so we need to make sure it's secure. There we go. So really, now the thing we got to keep in mind when you were using studs, 2x3s, they tend to do this from time to time because they're just meant for framing. So just keep that in mind. You do your best to get them leveled off and have them at their spot. But end of the day, please don't worry about it too much, okay? Like we're not looking for perfection here. We're just looking for good enough. But I do want to make sure that the best of my ability, I can get this guy in level. So to start it off, I'm going to place it directly. This one is my first one here. We're going to place this one directly center, and I've got the flat side on this one, have them facing out. So you just want to make sure you make that decision at some point. It doesn't matter which way you do it, folks. It doesn't. Just make a decision on one or the other. And then we're going to do, so I'm just going to get some soil in there to get us started. Okay. And then if you have a large one like this, I have multiples. The builders who did my house, they were kind enough to leave me a bunch. They ran out of here. I told them, hey, I have your levels. They never came back and got them. So now they're my level / tamping tool. Now you can just use another 2x3 for this, but you know, I'm just right here right now. Got it. So, and we're not too worried because a lot of this is going to square up as we put these together too, right? But we want to make sure these are pretty well locked in. We're going to make some adjustments as we're piecing it, but for the most part, this is what we're looking for. And again, folks, let me make sure I have you as don't worry about it. Like, that's all I can tell you. Do not stress about doing these things, guys. Worst case scenario, and this is really worst case scenario, you pull everything up and do it again. It's a 2x3. It's some dirt. Okay, don't sweat it. I've seen way too many of y'all on these, videos or people not doing stuff because they're worried about screwing it up. Good Lord. I mean, you know how many of those I messed up? I had to redo like 6 of those. Okay, so just let's make sure everybody take a breath here. Okay, nothing crazy. And hey, why did you fall over like that? You don't want that. You level. Sorry about the beard shot there. Okay, so same thing again. We're gonna have the wide side facing out. So the narrow end is gonna be on the long range here. So what we're doing is, so the deal here is I'm gonna get this one started. Then we're gonna, so again, what you'll see is then we're gonna, this is gonna end up being connected by 2 smaller pieces to this on that connection point there. You guys will kind of see as it comes together. So that's the deal. So we want to get this started. Some soil in there just so I got some support. Again, just looking for close. Close is really cool. It's like my favorite. So that's pretty level. There. Okay. Just gonna get some more in here. We're gonna tamp this down. And again, the tamp, you really want to make sure you get it in there as good as you can. But again, we're not gonna worry about it too much because Mother Nature is gonna help you with some rain and stuff too, especially if you're on the sprinklers. It's gonna help solidify this. Now, the other reason why people are saying, hey, you need to make sure you do cement down there and support these things. If it's like for me, it's in my garden. There's 4 posts. 2 times 2, 4 posts that have cement on them, and they're the ones that where my gates are hanging on. Other than that, everything else is in here, just in the ground. And miraculously, after many 70-mile-an-hour gusts, snowstorms, you name it, everything's still fine. Okay, so save the money on the cement, folks. If you don't need to use it, don't put it in your garden. No need for that. All right, so this guy, a little twist to it, but it looks all right. All right, so those guys look pretty good, look pretty close. I'll take it. I don't look good though. Now I'm all this direction. What is up with you today, man? You are just flip-flopping everywhere, worse than a politician. Come on. All right, so again, decision time on this. I'm gonna have this, the flat part on this, the same as I had on the other one. Just gonna keep it narrow, just like this. So this will be leading into my door somewhere over here is where I'll be setting up my door at another time, right? Oh, all right, got my Ren stop by, say hi. So, good. That looks lower. Again, I don't need much. I just want a little bit of, pitch change on this. Nothing crazy. Or I want a little bit of pitch, not a change. Elevation change on this. Pitch is the measurement between the two. Come on, man. Come on, Ryan. Man, you got a carpenter square in your hand. You're supposed to be talking like you know what you're doing. Can't even get the words right. My goodness. But so news that's been going on lately. So again, you guys don't know, I'm a business coach. For those that are relatively new, hey folks, good to see y'all on here. Make sure you're letting the chat know where you're at, like where in the world you're at. We've got people from all over here. Hopefully make some new friends here. I'm actually a business coach. That's what I do for a living. I come on YouTube. I do business videos. You are going to see me doing my business videos, so just prepare yourself for that. But yes, so anyways, updates on that. I actually got a new client this week. I think I forgot to tell my wife. Red, if you're watching, I landed that nonprofit that I forgot. I've been kind of out of it this week. I've been a bit of a space cadet. Not sure what's going on. Has been a little bit in the clouds lately, but so that was good. I always love it when I get new clients. They're fun, especially clients that I know I can help. So that's always good. I had a lot of good conversations this week too. Then I have one client who lives out in California. I got clients all over the country. who had a really good conversation with a potential new client, which was fun for them. Like, you know, part of what I do when I help folks is, you know, as a coach, you know, big thing is like, hey, you got this, go out and do your thing. But we actually have a plan we put in place that we want them to practice. Sure, my neighbor Cassidy just drove by. That we want them to practice. That's kind of the idea. And it's for them to go out and go do that and then have a really good conversation. They came back and are all excited. So like that's the W's that I look for in the world here. All right, so let's take a step back here and see what we're looking at here. Give you guys a little better view of that. So you see I got my 4 posts in there. We got the chicken run doing its thing. So, you know, looking pretty good. So next spot on here is going to be, I'm going to place an actual board. Try to find a spot here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but we're going to try to place a board on top of here. Look at this. I'm trying to think of what's going to be the best view on this from a cinema standpoint for you guys. Probably that. We got to see. It should be right. I should be able to do this. Should be close. There you go. That's what we're looking for. All right, there we go. So I'm going to pull this one back up though, because it is a bit too far, and bring it this way, which is fine though. But I do want to check this. Cool. Yep, that's what I want though. So the run is coming down. We like that. So we're going to take, let me see here. We're going to take this one out, move it all the way over, and that should get me there. I mean, I can, in theory, just do this. I might do that, actually. Yep. Yeah, I may frame it now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know. We're going to see. I prefer it on top, though, to be honest. I really do. Having it that way. Yeah, I think we're going to pull it up and just move it over. There we go. So, see what I mean? That's why we don't worry about this, folks. Now, same thing. We know the depth that we want on this. I just need to, we've already got the holes dug. I didn't tamp it down too hard intentionally. So we come in and just make some adjustments. And we're gonna do the same thing. On the other side, I got this good. But you know, it's this is the process. Again, you can go through and do, there's folks who are gonna do all the measurements and have it figured out, and we love that for them. Just not my style. More fun to come out here and just kind of play in the dirt. Must be the kid in me still. We'll go with that. Let's dig this over a little bit. Come on. So that's the other part that's nice about this too, is that, okay, clear that out. Got clay and some other yuck stuck in there. That's not gonna help me dig. But yeah, things are looking good across the board. There we go. Okay. I think I'm all the way down on that now. Maybe one more turn. Yeah, there we go. Now we're down. Okay. Let's get this guy back in there. Like so. Now, there we go. There we go. That's better. Cool. All right, so just being over that much is going to do the difference. Cool. Let's get this guy settled. So I've got this wren that lives right there. One of my, if you guys can see him or not. Probably can't see him. He's right there. And he's got his little bird's nest in there. Well, he or she, they're in there. So every time they tries to go in there, I take a look and it freaks him out. So I try not to make eye contact. We're gonna try not to make eye contact today. Just let him do his thing, because he's probably got snacks for his wife in there, or she's got snacks for her husband, whatever it is. I don't know I don't know how to tell the difference between those blue wrens. I'm sure it's probably pretty simple, but I don't know. But they're fun. They come in here, they take care of, between them, they are constantly swooping around here getting bugs. So which is nice, especially when the Japanese beetles are out doing their thing. It's like a scene out of like a World War II movie with dog fights and stuff. I guess what's going on, and not to make light of it, but it's kind of like what they're talking about in India and Pakistan. So, hey Richard. But you know, they're swooping everywhere, just doing dog fights and stuff. It's pretty wild. Okay, that one's there. Good there. Good there. Cool. All right. So this guy's gonna be able to go up here, no problem. That one's over there. So let's check this side over here now. Do the same thing I did over there. We'll get this guy put up. I think I might have the same problem, I have a feeling, but we're gonna find out. It's not a problem, like I said, it's why we don't do it too crazy. Oh no, that's plenty. See, that one's fine. Cool. All right. Yeah, so once I have these up, then yeah, this is just gonna be framing it out from there. So then I've got these, but we're gonna take care of the bottom first to lock these in, and then we'll do the tops. So let me get this out of here and tamp the rest of these guys down, because I got to smooth this off. So again, hopefully y'all are enjoying the wonderfulness of this stream. I mean, watching an old dude stuff up. And if you haven't already, hopefully I've earned your subscription today. Love it. Again, subscriptions and likes are free, so we love those here. Thank you, Morgan. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, we like I said, we just recently got over 1,000. So likes and subscribes, we love those things. It's been a year and a half. I just was looking at, like, when I did these, in a year and a half since I started. Oh, thank you for the, yes, chicken coop. Yep. And we're building out the run for it today. So thank you. So it is, they had a previous run in here. 11 away from 30. Good for you. Congrats. That's awesome. What do you specialize in, Morgan? What's your channel? Yeah, what do you have in yours? Again, I do business, and like most of my channel is business. I also just do this garden stuff on the side too. You know, outdoor stuff, just because I enjoy doing it. Get this here. There we go. Oh, nice. Nice. I love the fact that YouTube has just got, and you know, I try to tell my clients about this too, is that YouTube has just got so many opportunities out there. You know, there's so many people that are, you know, just looking for connection, but looking for information, you know, love it, growing vegetables. Yeah, heck yeah. Well, I don't know. Again, I'm doing my best here. You know, just trying to got my veggies, got all my tomatoes in. We're trying here. We're trying every day. Hello, oh, Oklahoma, nice, nice. Y'all got that red dirt out there too. Got that red dirt and tornadoes. I used to live in Wichita Falls. It was just across the, you know, just across the border from Oklahoma. And yeah, so we spend a lot of time up in Oklahoma City and stuff. Actually, I ran the Oklahoma City Marathon. I did that, got in under 4 hours back in the day. Couldn't do that now, but. Oh, you're in Lawton. Okay, yep. Lawton was the nearest casino until they put that weird casino complex just across the border there. That tells you how long ago I've been there. So, good old Lawton. Yeah, it's always interesting running into folks, though. Yeah, been throughout Lawton a lot of times, so that's awesome. Oh man. So when I say Wichita Falls and I've been through Lawton, you probably know what my job was in Wichita Falls. I'm pretty sure you can probably put 2 and 2 together. Spent a lot of time up at Oklahoma City, so yeah, Lawton is its own world. That's for sure. You know, it's those always amazing those towns in Texas and around in those areas, because of how isolated everybody was. Like I was in Abilene too, so again, you can further information about what I did for work for a while. It's a bunch of these little like island communities where they have their own thing going on, and when you're an outsider, man, you walk in, you're like, what in the? It's not like it's harmful or anything, but it takes a while to piece together, like what in goodness gracious is going on here? Why are they doing these things? Actually, on the stream, it's funny to watch. I'll have my world's largest barbecue hat on from Abilene on every now and again. All right, so we got these guys pretty well set up. So I got some more tamping to do. Or just make sure these are good. Again, nothing too crazy on here, folks. Again, we're not trying to worry about this. Don't want to stress out. Again, end of the day, this is it's chicken wire and stud and 2x3s. All right, this is nothing to get worried about here, folks. But we want to make sure it looks, looks good and it's safe for the chicks. Like that's the other idea here. So. Oh no, no, it wasn't construction. I was actually in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force. I built bombs for a living for a while. So yeah, that's what I did. I was at Shepherd Air Force Base in Wichita Falls, Texas. I was also down in Abilene for a while. I did 20 years in the Air Force. So, but part of that is I grew up on a farm, so we did construction all the time. That's where I got this stuff. But I'll take that. I'll say, if you think, if it looks like I know what I'm doing, we're gonna call that a W, because not a lot of folks say that, so I will take that. All right, so now we're gonna make some adjustments here, because I gotta get some different viewpoints in here, because now we're gonna work on connecting basically the bottoms here. Same thing here, although I may not. Yeah, I'm gonna connect here as well too. So connecting these. So I've got to move this up, and this will be towards the end once I get this stuff. Once I get the whole framework done, then I'm going to move this into place and do the last bit of connection here. I'm not trying to have it be too crazy. So, oh, okay, got it. To work on tanks. Yep, Fort Sill. Yep, lots of stuff there. So I'm going to grab a ladder real quick. 1 second, folks. Well, heck, let's go for a walk. I don't need to leave you there. You can come with me. Yeah, it's it's the thing. Military is a good life for a lot of folks. So again, for don't know, again, this is a greenhouse where we got stuff going. I got all flowers started over on this side here. Got the last few of my vegetables that I got. Again, I got peppers and some extra tomatoes, which I'm giving away. Then I've got my artichokes, a whole bunch of celery in the back. I decided I'm just gonna grow a bunch of celery just for fun this year. But this was actually kind of fun. Yesterday, these guys started popping really good. Like this guy, he probably doubled in size yesterday, my strawberries. So they are all coming up nice. We love that. We love that. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's it's a lot of work, but you got to have your hobbies. So this is charged. So that's good. I'm going to need this. And grab my grandpa quality ladder here. Since I am a grandpa, I should probably have a grandpa quality ladder. But well, yeah, so like say I've got my entire greenhouse on this side because it's north facing, it's all insulated. So this next winter coming up, I'm gonna be running stuff out of here. You're 20, actually it's not late. You can still get into the military. I think they take folks up to even up in their early 30s, they'll take folks. We can look at it. May have changed, but we had folks that were coming in at that age, at 27. I had a lot. I did 20, a little almost 21 years. So, you know, I would be the guy who would know. And we had a lot of older folks. I wouldn't say older, but you know what I mean. Folks that were had a little age to them when they came in. And frankly, yeah, absolutely. But when folks came in the military a little bit later like that, they actually did pretty good. We didn't have to, I want to say it here, nicest way I can. They'd been through their shithead phase. I think that's the right phase. You know, I went through mine. So you get a little older, you've been through it, you did your dumb stuff, and now you're say, okay, I want to get serious about a life and work and whatever like that. And they come in normally did really well. So if you're thinking about it, you know, think about it. It's a good life, I can tell you that much. All right, so we're gonna frame it at the bottom first because I really don't want to have to try to be doing this on the ladder until I have to. Just got that old man fear. So, and again, what we're gonna do is we're again frame it in the whole bottom here, and then when the idea here is I'm gonna bring the chicken wire down, but I'm gonna lay chicken wire actually out around, not have it connected. It's gonna be just straight down with the goal of just keeping them, anybody who's trying to dig in, they're gonna run directly into chicken wire. So I'm not worried about, like, you'll see a lot of folks will take it and they try to drape it down, which I do around the perimeter here, but I'm gonna do a different tack this time where I'm just gonna frame it in, call it good, and then get the chicken wire, and then we'll worry about the outside later. So, all right, well, I think we're at that time. Don't. 1, 2, there we go. Pretty good there. And I'm not too worried. I'm gonna cut all these to length here. Where is my handy dandy marking tool at? Here it is. We're just gonna basically cut all these to length, and I'm gonna have them on the outside so we can just drape down. Now, again, if I wanted to be really crazy with this, I could have the top bring all the chicken wire down just so the chicken wire would save in the last second behind this 2x4. These are all choices you get to make when you're doing it. I just don't, like I said, end of the day, I'm not too worried about it. You could build all of these as their own planks, separate pieces, and put them in together. Like, there's all sorts of ways you can do this, guys. And everyone that you eat, whichever way you decide is the right way for you, is what I'm saying. So, all right. I don't want you guys getting blown up with the saw going off here. So, BRB. So like I said, I've been on the receiving end of live streams where people just let the saws do their thing, and oh boy, was that ever not fun. So try not to do that. Let me grab something else here. Be right back. Be right back, folks. 1 second. Thank you for the like. I appreciate that. All right, sorry about that, folks. All right, so where are they at? Here we go. I think I'm actually gonna go in with these just because of the screws that I got. I was looking at the size that I have here. So I got these. Yeah, it's the exact question I was getting ready to say. So I've got, these are 3-inch. Like, these are 3-inch right here. So I think we'll be all right. Yeah, we're just gonna using these 3-inch, and they got the hex. I got them from right here. I know it's backwards for y'all, so I apologize. So one thing I wish, actually, I sent a note to YouTube about this too. Is like, yo, is there any way we can get this on our mobile phones to where we can set up where the mirror, we can mirror it within the, I'm trying to say here, mirror it on the program itself. There you go. Let me get this here. Sorry about that. Forgot my mic. It should have reminded me I forgot my mic. Okay, no, we're trying to get a mirror, like right now, because like I'm obviously this way. We could flip the actual thing, it would be great. Okay, so just coming over here. And again, we're just putting one in for now. And again, we're just positioning these one for now. I will more than likely come back in here and pop one more in a lot of these, but I don't want to, again, I don't want to lock these in too tight until I get everything kind of connected. You know, I still want this to be able to have some little wiggle in it, you know what I mean? So, all right, so let's hop up, take care of this bottom piece here. See if we can get both of these in the same shot. I don't think I can. All right, well, I'll do this one first. This guy here. Had one of my, you know, this type of work or doing these things is very much like painting. I actually had one of my clients brought this to my attention. The best stuff that you do, work in your life, should always be like, think of it like you're painting. Like painting a room. 90% of the work is prep to do it right, to have it look good. 90%. So we gotta mark this off here. Get this lined up here. And again, I'm just going from the end of one end, making it flush on this over here. Right about there. Cool. All right. Do you know what? I'm trying to think of the easiest way. Can I just push this mute button, I wonder? There we go. Just use that mute button. Better than taking the mic back on and off. So, but what a good day. What a gorgeous day out today, though. My goodness, is it ever nice. We're finally getting repaid for all of our awful weather we had here. That's my 2 cents. It was so bad. Just cold and yuck for like the entire winter. It was such a bad winter. So, you know, it's just one of those things. It's the first real Michigan winter that we've had in a long time here. And, you know, it definitely caused some distress with the plants and some other stuff because, you know, they're not used to it. They've been, I mean, if you go back and look at my streams, I mean, we were out. Come on. There we go. Knew that was going to start stripping. Did you go? I'll take a look at that. Right though, we got a few to do. But yeah, it was one of those weird winters. So, all right. So what we're going to do here is, for these next spots, we're actually going to go on top this way. Yeah, so we're gonna go on top, do the same thing, gonna measure this out, cut them, get them started on one, bring it over. Again, obviously this is easier with a two-person job, but you know, just me, it'll be all right. Wouldn't be the first time I've done this, done it this way. There we go. Go trim this off. Make this Okay, there we go, got that back on. And we're gonna so whenever I'm doing stuff like raised, I always try to, we can lose these today though. Hands are starting to get a little too sweaty. Whenever I am doing stuff like up, I always try to pre-start my screws. It's just easier that way. There we go. One. And, oh, hey. How's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Appreciate everybody who's on the stream today. Thank you so much. Anyway, just try to pre-start everything. And again, these are extra deck screws that I had. You can use whatever you want to use. I mean, it's not a big deal. And with this, what I'm doing, again, there's easier ways to do this, different ways, I should say. They all have their own challenges with them, but like in this case, we're gonna be starting this guy up here. Pop you up here, pop you right there. Okay. Of course, I'm working around my garden at the same time too, because I got plants right below me. In this case, because, so by the way, I'm on top here. So this is not set this way, this is set on top. And I want it that way because I'm gonna have my flashing is gonna be here, so I want a bigger surface for it to attach into. So if I didn't mention that, that's what's going on here. All right, oop. Okay, that wasn't expected. Whoopsies. All right, well, we learned something today. Got to move the screw in a little bit further on this one. All right, there we go. That one's up. Looking good, looking fine, folks. And then lock you in so I don't bash my fingers by mistake. That would be no good. Actually, I'm gonna bring this guy over here. There we go. Gotta have some cinema here, right? You guys can't see me. Goodness, there we go. Just keep me in frame. The heck, man. It's like amateur hour here. Gotta have this right. I'm gonna actually take this out and redo this. Again, so we've got just the slightest of what's the word I want to say here? Like the pitch. It's not much, but it's enough to have the water going off the edge like we want it. That's the idea. So you can see, it's hard to tell, but it's basically 3 inches over, actually it's 4 inches over 8 feet, right? So it's 2 to 1, which is, when you're dealing with water, at least I got from plumbing, it's 1 inch over 10 feet to make sure there's good water flow, but this just has enough, needs to have enough to go. That's all we're looking for. So that's good. All right. All right, folks, we are zooming here today. This is coming together quick. Let me move you over here. Keep an eye on what's going on. All the fun activities that are happening. So we're just gonna redo what we did over there, over here. Like that's the idea. Just gonna redo that over here. Okay. Another one, need 2 more of these. May just see if I can place it up there, not worry about it. Ooh, that 2x3 is a little twisted, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. So next up, we'll square everything off once we, well, square-ish everything off once we get there. So we did learn on our last one. So we're gonna cut this guy off. So we did in the last one. Get it to the right length. Here, here. All right, I'll be quick with the saw. Hopefully it ain't too loud for y'all. Actually, yeah. Well, that was weird. That was a weird cut, but we'll take it. All right, so spot here, same thing we did on the other one. Doing this right here. But yeah, so things are going really well in the garden though, I can tell you that much. The stuff that we've had, that we've been dealing with around here hasn't been bad at all. It's been nice. We've had, there you go guys, sorry about that. No, it's been pretty good now that we got the weather situation. We had one bit of frost yesterday that we had to work through. So that was a whole thing. But, you know, beyond that, it's been nothing but goodness. Nothing but goodness. So let's get you guys back up here. So you can watch the old man up in the air doing his thing. So again, our goal here is get these on here, just like so. And you, just like so. All right. Get you guys out of here. Huh? You guys are kind of in the way there. We don't like that. Okay. So now, it's a matter of trying our best to square these off. They ain't gonna be perfect because, again, these are studs. They're not, they got twists in them. I mean, that's just what studs do. But what's nice about them, they work well. Here's a great example. So this is great for you folks to see. This is what we want to see. So that's the gap that we have for the water. So that's the distance down that we have. So that's what we want to see. Nice little gap there that we're just bringing this thing down to close up. So that is letting us know that we got this thing just like we want it. It's going to drain off without too many issues. What the heck did I just sink into? My goodness. Ouch. What the heck is there? All right, that was weird. Let's not do that again. Okay, there we go. Try to close the gap up. There we go. All right. All right, so next is going to be closing, putting our posts, connecting down here, this section here. Right here. Again, we're going to want this guy. I'm going to want this one on I don't want this flush here, so we're going to cut this off right here and just have this guy be flush. Make it nice and tight, so I kind of got to force it in. There we go. So again, the goal, we're going to place this in between here and do the same thing at the top. So it's going to be loud here for a second, folks. Jump just right here. Just right there. Cool. All right, so we got them in there. I'm just gonna screw this in with get this in with a couple screws. And again, it's a nice tight fit in here is what we want. It's nice and snug. Nice and snug. There's that. That's the thing. That's locked in. So getting tighter and tighter here, folks. Looking good. So the next one is going to be the same thing right here. And again, I'm going to drop these right underneath these overhang. Can't really see it here. So I got these little overhangs. So it's got this little bit of overhang. We're going to drop it right underneath that. It won't necessarily square it up. Again, we're not worried about that piece, but I do want to have it where it is set up there. So again, they're going to come up here. We're going to come in this way and then fix it up on that side. So let's get a measurement. Get it in there. Make her work. Yeah, because we got basically this cut, oops, sorry about that. So we have this last top cut to do for this section right here. And then we got this top cut to do right here, which would be just these little bits. And then after that, it's going to be, I'm going to start basically putting the chicken wire in here, getting things covered up, and then work on framing out this door a little bit, what the door's going to look like. Door's going to take me probably a little bit to do. I probably won't be on stream, but I at least want to get the framing done so you guys can see that. I think that's going to be important. And the rest of it really is, again, chicken wire goes over and whatnot. So anyways, let's keep on rolling here. Let's keep on rolling. Okay, got that one there. Let's do a quick cut and then we'll back over here. Where's that at? Where's that at? Here it is. Come here, you. All right, now for these, I'm gonna start my screws ahead of time. I'm gonna have my ladder here to help support a little bit on this end, so it's not fully down. Basically get it started, pop it on best I can, and then, you know, do my next one. Where's my... Got the roofing going on next door, man. They are killing it over there. Yes, good. Let's get you up. Nice if I just have you there, but how much still gotta pull over? I gotta get pulled over a bit. Okay, that's fine. I'll just get them started. Now get started. We'll adjust it here in a second. That's what I love about this. Come on. There you go. I like that. Make sure this guy is lined up. Okay, that's better. Okay, now this guy, just gonna pull in tight. There we go. There we go, folks. Look at that thing lined, looking nice and solid now. So, see, we got it up there, got over there, we're good. So, all right, well, hey, I'm gonna stop the stream here. It's getting towards lunchtime for me. I get some food. So I appreciate everybody who's hung out and hung out with me today. It's been good to see y'all. Hopefully I earned your subscription today. Take care. I'll see you guys next time. Laters.